The PlayStation 4 has an absolutely stacked lineup of exclusives in 2016, and while most are focusing on Uncharted 4 or Horizon Zero Dawn, in this video I'll be taking a look at 10 PS4 exclusives you might not know about. Let's get right into this. Number 10, Alienation. Alienation is being developed by Housemarque, who have developed some of the best PlayStation downloadable games such as Resogun, Super Stardust, and Dead Nation. Alienation is a top-down co-op shooter, and the game has a lot of similarities to a game like Helldivers. The game is up to 4 players, each assuming the role of one of 3 classes. The game creates a ton of chaos, and the particle effects are some of the best I've seen. Alienation still doesn't have an exact release, but sometime in 2016 is a guarantee. Number 9, The Witness. The Witness is a 3D puzzle game being developed by Jonathan Blow and his team. Jonathan Blow may be a name you've heard of before, as he's the creator of one of the best indie games of all time in Braid. In The Witness, you explore an open world island and you progress through it by solving various puzzles. The game will have minimal instructions, as Blow wants the player to come to understand the rules of the puzzles by themselves. The final game is expected to have about 650 puzzles, which one of them, Jonathan Blow, has stated that he believes less than 1% of players will be able to solve. The Witness releases on January 26th. Number 8, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. It's been quite a long time since a new Digimon game has hit stateside, so you should be aware of the fact that Bandai Namco is bringing over Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth onto the PS4. The game actually released back in March in Japan and is only coming over now. The game obviously has a lot of similarities to the Pokemon games, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, as Sony's console has never seen a big monster collecting game. In the game, you play as either a male or female hacker, and after events occur, your body ends up being digitized and you can travel between the digital world and the real world. Keep in mind that this game was initially a PlayStation Vita game, so the graphics aren't going to be the best, but regardless, it's a game that has potential to be a big hit when it releases on February 2nd. Number 7, Shadow of the Beast. Shadow of the Beast is a complete remake of the original game that was released back in 1989. The game is being built completely ground up with a great looking art style and a high level of visual fidelity. The game will feature similar 2D action-adventure style platforming, but it's being modernized to appeal to the current audience. Expect some brutal combat and expect the music and the art to hit home with people that played the original. Shadow of the Beast is expected to release sometime early in 2016. Number 6, NIOH. Being developed by Team Ninja of Ninja Gaiden fame, NIOH is a game that has been in development for a very long time. The game follows the story of William, a samurai during the Warring States period in 16th century Japan. The game's look is similar to that of a game like Onimusha, while the gameplay seems to be very similar to the Souls games, and Dark Souls with samurais definitely sounds like a game the PlayStation audience would be interested in. The game's graphics are also ridiculously good, so have your eyes on NIOH, it looks very promising. And while we don't have an exact release date, expect to play the game in 2016. Number 5, Matterfall. Matterfall is being developed by the same guys that are developing Alienation and Housemarque. And while Housemarque has been traditionally known for smaller budget downloadable games, Matterfall looks to be their first attempt at a big budget AAA exclusive. The game takes place in a futuristic setting where you fight for control of smart matter. We still don't know much about the game, as all we were given to see was a CG trailer, but considering the guys that are involved in developing it and the premise of Matterfall, it's a game with a ton of potential. Expect to play Matterfall sometime in 2016. Number 4, Gravity Rush 2. Gravity Rush was one of the best games on the PlayStation Vita, and now it's getting a sequel on the PlayStation 4. In the game, you play as Kat, who has the ability to control gravity, allowing her to walk on walls, float, do a thrusting gravity kick, etc. The gameplay was innovative, albeit a bit wonky on the PlayStation Vita, so hopefully the transition to the PS4 makes it even better. The game has a gorgeous watercolor art style and a great soundtrack to boot as well. If you've never played Gravity Rush, you should know that the original game is being re-released on the PlayStation 4 remastered in February. And as far as the second game's release date goes, we just know it'll be coming in 2016. Number 3, Firewatch. Firewatch is a single-player adventure game that takes place in the Wyoming wilderness in 1989 in the aftermath of the Yellowstone fires. The game is extremely artistic and the world is so vibrant and colorful. The art direction is some of the best I've seen in a very long time. Each set piece looks amazing and the game looks to have a very interesting plot. You play as Henry, who is a fire lookout, and expect a suspenseful game filled with mystery. Firewatch has potential to be one of the best games of 2016. It releases on February 9th.
Hey, you kids! Somebody cut the comms.
What?
I'm out here.
Number 2, Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet & Clank was one of the most prominent franchises on the PlayStation 2, and it also had a big part in the PlayStation 3's library with the Ratchet & Clank Future series. Now Ratchet & Clank is finally coming to the PlayStation 4, and while it's not a completely new adventure, rather it's a reboot of the first game, but don't worry, this isn't your typical HD reskin. No, this is a complete reimagining of the first Ratchet & Clank game, and it's being built ground up for the PlayStation 4. There's also a Ratchet & Clank movie that's set to release around the same time of the game, so it'll be interesting to see how that does. Regardless, it'll be nice to see the Lombax on the PlayStation 4 April 12th, 2016.
Tell me you were gonna clean it up last week.
Number 1. NIER Automata. Being developed by Platinum Games, NIER Automata is the follow-up to one of the most underrated RPGs on the PS3, NIER. Since the game is now being developed by Platinum, expect some incredible action gameplay, but don't worry, the game will still retain its RPG elements. The visuals are very good, and possibly the most exciting thing about NIER Automata is the soundtrack. Just from watching the trailer, you could tell the music was going to have a big part in the game, just like it did with the original NIER. And don't worry, if you've never played the original NIER, while the game is true to the spirit of the original, you'll be able to jump in the game no problem. The action RPG releases in 2016, and man, we can't wait for it. So, did I spark your interest in any of these games? Also, if you think I forgot a game or ranked a game too high, let me know. Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.